For joining me on a Wednesday morning live. Sorry I'm coming to you so much later than normal, but guys, it's been one heck of a morning. It has been one heck of a morning, so I hope you'll understand. Jamie's still not home. She's with Kendra and Xander in Illinois. And so I am trying to manage both properties by myself. And that means there's things to do everywhere. There's just so many things to do everywhere. And I feel really bad that I am just now getting over here to feed Caroline at darn near 11 o'clock in the morning. Whereas she normally gets fed so much earlier, I am just getting to her baba. I wanted to bring you guys out with me. I managed and worked with chickens, changed the alpaca water this morning, cleaned off a little bit of the things in the littles pasture. Donkeys and alpaca gave me a heck of a time, and so I'm just running very late. But here's Caroline over here now, along with all the other cows, and we're gonna drive up and give her a baba. It's a little bit bumpy here, guys, so just bear with me. This is actually not me having the shakes. This is just bumps in the pasture. Just bumps in the pasture. All right. There we go. Hi, sweet baby girl. Hello, my sweet baby girl. My sweet Caroline. Everyone's worked themselves over to the tree line, which is where they go a lot of times during the midday sun. Even though our mornings are starting off just beautiful, there's Patsy giving a real sweet spit bath to Kirk. That's just a really sweet moment. He's just enjoying that, y'all. He's just such a little bull who's enjoying Mama cleaning him up. I know you probably can't see unless you use your own device to zoom in. But that's just adorable. Yesterday, I hope you enjoyed the video of watching the babysitters. I've caught both Jezebel and Patsy playing babysitter so far. What I mean by that is moms have completely left the scene and left somebody in charge. One time I saw Jezebel in charge of all the babies. I'm sorry, here comes Jezebel here. Jezebel was in charge at one moment. And then I saw Patsy in charge a different time. And that's what happens. A lot of times moms will go off to graze and do things. And at some point, it's hard to kind of keep looking over their shoulders for babies. So I made that video yesterday afternoon. It was a 3 o'clock video. And I hope you enjoyed that. It was really cute for me to see that age where the moms are starting to leave their babies and go off for a bit. Now, at this point, the babies can pretty much follow moms if they want to. Most of them have enough energy to keep up with mom, but they still will sometimes, mom will lay them down, and I don't know how the moms communicate to them, or maybe it's just instinctual, but at some point, one of the moms will stick around. She'll stay back behind, and all the other moms will go off to graze. Yeah, guys, you have to stop talking about things going on up north. I shared as much as I could last night, and how disrespectful this morning to have two ladies on my dad's live who just kept talking about it and saying everything. Carol, and I forgot the other sweet lady. I'm sure they're wonderful people, but boy, they just go in there prying for all kinds of stuff, sharing information. And then there were a number of people saying, hey, Lester said, let's just keep this on our channel. Why involve Pawpaw? Why involve Kim? Why involve anybody else in something? And I don't know. You know what they say, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And so then you had my dad hearing firsthand about something going on from a complete stranger, from Carol. Who in the Lord's name is Carol? And why should Carol be trying to tell my dad information? That's what I get. Someone says, that's what you get. That's what you get. That is what you get in the world that we live in. Knowledge is power. And boy, Miss Carol thought she had some this morning. But no, I did not share too much information. And I'm going to leave the gist of that story to be told. Oh, baby, are you all done? By Jamie, Xander, and Kendra, when the time is right. So, when the time is right, there we go. I'll tell you what, you got things that you worry about, things that you're concerned about. You're not sure on any of the details. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. But you try to have enough of a mutual respect for each other, me for you, and you for me, to at least not keep you in the total dark. And then you have your Carols run off and just no matter what, even though she knew in her heart she shouldn't do it. She knew in her heart she shouldn't do it. She just could not help herself, y'all. Just couldn't help herself. All right, baby, you've already had your baba. I'm sorry I was late this morning, okay? I'm sorry I was so late. But now it's time to go be a cow again, okay? You're doing a really good job being a cow. And I love you being a cow. Yes, I do. And then there was another lady. Oh, Lord. So I was driving and hearing my dad's live. Look out. And some other lady is saying, why has Lester been so hostile? Why is Lester in such a bad mood lately? Why is Lester... Guys, why the hell would you ask my dad that kind of a question? Why don't you ask me? You ask me why I'm in a bad mood lately, and I'll tell you exactly why. You ask me why I'm kind of in a crappy mood lately, and I think we can all say why. But looking good, everybody. Looking good. Excuse me, Calamity. I'm trying to make her stop and leave me alone. If I drive around the other cow, she'll sometimes get distracted and walk off for a minute. I also want to drive over here closer to Jenny Lane and Dolly and see what's going on with them for a just-in-case situation. A just-in-case. Hey, Reba. So here's Jenny Lane up alongside the fence line. No development in her udder whatsoever, so I'm not thinking much about her. Dolly wandering off by herself down the hill. Now, Dolly... No, there's not a lot going on here, guys. I wish there was more to report to you. I wish there was more to report. Hey, sweet Dolly. I wish there was more I could report, but there's nothing going on over here. All right, Caroline, you got to go back now, sweetie. You got to go on back. I don't want to run over you. I don't want to run over you, sweetie, but you got to go back to your family now, okay? You got to go back to your family. There's nothing else to eat here. I also started the water to running. I'll drive back by the calves over here. Maybe she'll get distracted and stick around with the babies while I drive on back to the house. Yeah, I was just running really late this morning. Sorry I wasn't there able to be with you at the 7 o'clock hour. But I just had things going. Jamie called and we were talking, and I was not going to tell Jamie, hey, I gotta go live. I wasn't going to do that. I was not going to do that. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Calamity. Hey, could you guys get Caroline out of my beeswax? Could you guys take Caroline and just get her out of my beeswax? Oh, Loretta will do it. Loretta's like, I'll move her along. Look out, here comes Loretta. Aunt Loretta, she's over here. Aunt Loretta wants you to leave. Aunt Loretta wants you to go be a little girl and stop being a daddy's girl. Right, Loretta? You need her to go? You need her just to go? Oh, boy. Okay, you got to go, sweetie. Daddy has to drive. I don't want to run over you, okay? And don't follow me all the way home, because then she'll have to run all the way back by herself. I'm going to pull over here. Jolene will help me. Jolene will help me. Watch this. Jolene will get her out of here. Oh. Well, maybe she's gone. Hey, Patsy. Hi, Trinity. Hi, babies. Hey, Jezebel. All right, Caroline, I think, has been distracted. There she is there. Caroline has been distracted by other babies. Good. Now I can skedaddle out of here. I can skedaddle out of here. Bye, sweetie. Okay. You guys hold on. Oh, it's so bumpy through here. So very bumpy. I slept bad on my shoulder last night. I don't know how, but I woke up at around 2 in the morning and my shoulder was just throbbing. And I'm like, what did I do? And I think that I was just all like twisted and turned weird in the bed. And I tried to readjust myself. I fell right back asleep. But I'll tell you what, I woke up this morning with this just nagging pain in my bad shoulder. Oh no, did my water hose fall out? Did my water hose come out and going all over the ground? Nope, it's good. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh, Lord, Lester Eugene Morrow Jr. I done lost my water hose, got it all over the ground. But my water trough is full. Looky there. My water trough is full, but I put water all over the ground. That one's full. Now let's fill my last one right over here. I've tried to separate the water trough so the little ones can have their very own. And but you know what I've noticed? And this is the dumbest thing. What I've noticed is that some of the moms are drinking out of the baby's water. And that's not really fair. We have to put a smaller, lower to the ground water trough for the babies to be able to reach. The babies can't really reach very well out of those. When the water's full, the babies can reach fine. But once the water starts dropping down a ways, the babies can't reach it. And so you would hope that the moms would allow the babies to have their very own water trough and the moms drink out of the big ones. But no, it doesn't really always work that way with cows. They don't think about stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll fill up this water trough over here, and then I'll turn off the water out back. I can go ahead and close this gate, and we will leave this pasture altogether. And then we're going to walk into our horse pasture. Well, I need to feed the birds first. The birds need to be fed. The horses I don't feed in the mornings. You guys know that. The horses I sometimes will toss over some green hay. And we can do that if you want to. I would love to do that with you. And then I've tried to let you guys know that with Jamie being out of town and with me being back and forth, it's just going to be hard to get videos out on a regular schedule. I do have some things I recorded yesterday and this morning that I'll try to throw together. But I don't want you to think that I'm just the creator of inferior videos. I want to make sure I take pride in my videos, what I put out. So if I can't find something to do, not be a waste of your time, then just know that these live streams are simple. There's no editing required. And I'll try to go live in the mornings and again in the afternoons, kind of debrief about the day. I'm also wanting to be very close to my phone because without giving too many details away, I do think that today is going to be a really miraculous and wonderful day for us. I have my fingers crossed, and I've been saying my prayers that all goes well with everybody up north, and that we don't have any issues with any of that, even though the entire event has already become a little bit of an issue. But you know, is there really anybody who can ever go through a complete 9-month pregnancy without having some kind of complication? I mean, isn't there always something that you worry about? with almost every mom. How many of you moms can admit that you went through the entire 9 months, however many days, and had absolutely zero complications? Now, I can't read the comments, guys. I don't have my glasses, but I'll read them later. But I am just curious, is there anybody who can say that they went through the entire 9 months, never had any complications, had a smooth, easy delivery, so I'm actually kind of seeing, I think I do see some yeses and some nos. So I guess there are some that have been that blessed and that fortunate. So consider yourself lucky, guys. Consider yourself lucky, because most everybody who I've known have had some form of complication of some sort. There's always some sort of complication, it seems like, with something. Maybe nothing major, guys. I don't mean major complications, but there's always something. Seems to always be something. And with sweet Kendra, it's a blood pressure issue. So we got that girl in our thoughts and prayers, okay? So I'm going to take these rolls of hay, these flakes of hay. So to us, these are bales. This is a bale of hay. Those are rolls of hay. Oh, look, a kitty. Well, hello. Now, we've never had a chance to love you before. We've never had a chance to love you. That's not Shadow. That is not Shadow. That's Barnville. Hi, Barnville. We've never had a chance to love you before. Can we come a little bit closer and look at you? I just want to see you. Can you guys even see him there in the shadow of that round roll of hay? Hi, Barnville. We want to just pet. Can I pet you? Kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't leave. Barnville, I just want to love you. Okay, well, I guess we ain't loving. This is what we call a roll of hay. This is what we call a bale of hay. They're not the same. In a bale of hay, you have individual flakes. So they're packaged that way. So there's a flake. Here's a flake. So they come apart in flakes. And your horses should get a flake a day, a flake. So being that we have 8 horses, okay, 9, you would normally during the winter months give them a flake each. Some will give them more than a flake. Now, this is green alfalfa, though. This is not dry hay. They have dry hay sitting out in the pasture. But I will take out a few flakes, break them in half. I'm going to break these flakes in half, okay? And give each horse and donkey a half flake of hay, all right? So if I take out 5, maybe 6, that should be plenty. I'll be right back. Alrighty. And then I'm going to turn on the water. This is where I've been watering the cats. This is where I water the cats. And whenever the dogs are out and about, they can also come drink over here. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, where do the cats drink their water? Where do the cats drink? Where do the cats drink? Well, here's where the cats drink, from right here. Okay. All right, that's the cat water. Okay, let's go ahead and go pass out a few flakes of hay, guys. Just pass out a few flakes of hay, shall we? I can pretty much drive down along the fence line and toss it out because the horses are down a ways. Let me close this gate over here by the cows so in case they come up, they don't walk out. Now, I've already turned off their water. I do have water running out in the stables that should be turned on that I hope will fill up. And even if it overflows, that's fine. I don't mind using my squeegee to push that water down through the barn. I've discovered that if I do let that water overflow a little bit, it not only cleans off the surface debris out of the water trough, but it also helps me put some water onto that concrete floor. And then that water on the concrete floor, I push it down with my squeegee, and it keeps the barn a little bit less dusty, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. Probably it doesn't. I do not have a tripod on here with me, so I will have to sit you guys down a couple of times to do what I have to do. So here's Talus, and I'll throw a flake of hay over for him here. But like I said, I'm going to do a half flake of hay because they don't need full flakes right now. We will get there. So I'm just going to break that flake in half. See that? I just broke that flake of hay in half. I don't see any other horses up here. I do see some down by the pond. Let's drive on down. Hey, Tallies. Oh, Tally man. Here's Prim and Val. Uh-oh. There's trouble over here. She sees me too. Come on, sweetie. Here's Gemma. Come on, love. Now, where there's Gemma, there's going to be Rita. Rita is not going to be far off. And there's Rita. What did I tell you? Guys, do I know my horses or do I know my horses? Do I know my horses or do I know my horses? There you go. There's Gemma and Rita. Very nice. I tossed 2 half flakes over there. There's one for Rita and Gemma's eating hers, okay? Good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and toss one over to Carl and his friends. Hey, Carl. There you guys go. Carl and the ladies love green hay as well. And we have plenty, don't worry. I bought hay yesterday. We got plenty. All right, let's drive on down. Here comes Val and Prim. Not sure. There's horses divided all over the darn place, guys. Horses are divided all over the place. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetie. Okay, I tossed a couple over. So Val's getting hers over here. And now Prim's coming this way. And she'll get hers over here. I'm looking inside the barn and I can see Stormy is inside she's inside the stable. Over here, love. Look, over here. Stormy, over here. Stormy. Right here on the ground. Stormy, it's over here. Stormy. Prim, right here. There you go. Okay, good. All right, we're finding everybody, guys. We're finding them. They're all around. Carl and his lady friends are eating on his hay too. They love their green hay. All right, let's go try to find the rest of the horses, shall we? Let's go find everybody else. Oh no, it looks like Prince Willie Joe is gonna make the big birds leave their flake of hay. Oh, that's sad. Carl and the girls wanted some hay. Sorry, Carl. Be sweet, girls. Daddy loves you. So, how many horses are we missing? Bucky's, Stormy, Roman, Ivy. Right? Bucky's, Stormy, Ivy, and Roman. Let's drive inside and see if they're all inside the stables, hanging out in their stalls. Which I hope not, but they could very well be. And that's okay if they are. I need to come out here at some point and clean these stalls. So yeah, we have 5 horses along the fence line there. Oh, and I do have water running everywhere. I do have water running all over the ground already. Whoops. I told you I don't mind letting water run over. Hey, buddy. Hello. You guys hanging out inside the stables where it's nice and cool? Nothing wrong with that. So, see, I let water run over so it takes a lot of the debris off the top and kind of helps keep it a little bit cleaner. Then I'll turn it off right there, okay? Now, not to worry, I'll get my push broom or my squeegee and I'll push all of this out of here. Do you guys want some green hay? How about some green alfalfa hay? So you notice the stalls are open and they can come in and out if they choose to. Roman, I'm gonna bring you an entire flake all by yourself because you're such a big guy. You're such a big guy, you deserve your very own flake of hay. Here you go. I put on the floor for him right there. Now I do have those hay nets, but somebody sent me an email and said that the hay nets are mostly used for when you want your horses to, like, when they're bored. So you don't make the horse struggle all the time. You only make them, you put the hay nets out when you want them to not be bored. Would you guys agree with that statement? Do you guys agree with that statement that you only need to use those hay nets because it's gonna make the horses work to get the hay out? And so sometimes by putting those hay nets around, you can keep your horses entertained. Or, like I said, just not bored. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Lester does not know what he's saying. I just sometimes say things that I read in comments. I could be absolutely wrong. All right, what I'm going to do now is take my squeegee, and just push some of that water out of here. You guys just bear with me here for a minute. Hey, Bucky's, you're not going to be mean. Bucky's, that's Ivy. Move. Hey, let her share. Ivy, here, sweetie. Come here. Come here, Ivy. Ivy, come here. Ivy, go walk in this stall and eat in there. Go eat it over there. Poor Ivy. You know what? She's his eyes and ears. She really is his eyes and ears, and he has to treat her that way. How many of you guys dedicate yourself to taking care of somebody and they don't respect it half the time? You do so much for people and you feel like they just don't give you much respect and they don't show you much appreciation. That's the way Ivy feels probably with Bucky's. She does so much to help him. She does so much to help him make his life easier, and then he runs her off the food. Well, that ain't gonna work there because that dirt needs to be moved and spread around. Guys, I told you I'll get to it. I just don't have a lot of time. I hate it that I can't get to everything in a timely manner. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm pushing it as hard as I can. I'm not sitting around twiddling my thumbs, I promise you that. You ain't caught me sitting around twiddling my thumbs in a long time. All right. Hey, Bucky's, I don't like that water you're standing in. Bucky's, I'm over here on this side of you, okay? Can you hear me? Bucky's, can you hear me? I'm gonna take your hay and move you over a little bit over here. Look, I want you to go eat right there because I want to get that water. Bucky's, I want you out of that water. Bucky's, hey, can you move? Bucky's, 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 just move. Thank you. All right, Bucky's, you come back now. Not over there. Hey, y'all need to be sweet to each other. God, poor Ivy. Poor Ivy. Baby, I'm so sorry. Ivy is so sweet and so good to everybody. Share with her, Bucky Boos. Thank y'all for hanging around with me while I do my chores. I imagine you guys have so many other things to do. I guess on one hand, I'm happy that you see I'm not just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. What does that even mean? Have you ever thought about that? And have you ever seen anybody actually sit around twiddling their thumbs? I haven't. Okay, most of that will dry up today with the evaporate right out of here. There we go. Okay, so all of the horses now have green hay and they have, I will say, fairly clean water. What would y'all rate this water on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being deplorable and 10 being quality H2O. A sweet lady sent me an email and said that she and her family traveled to go to a farm, a real working farm. They were so excited. Now, they don't live anywhere near here, but they were excited to go see an actual working farm, a real farm. And she says, Lester, she goes, it was the weirdest thing, but she caught herself. Every time they would walk past a water trough, she wanted to look inside of it and see how clean or how dirty their water was. And she just wanted to commend us for having really clean water, because in the whole scheme of things, even farms that invite people over for tours, charging them an admission to get in, does not mean they always take the best care and keep their water as clean as they probably should. So I thought that was a wonderful compliment. Okay, well guys, I'm gonna go ahead and walk out of this pasture now, or drive out of this pasture. And I do believe that all of the Well, the horses are good, food and water. I dropped off some bottle to our sweet Caroline. I also filled up the water for the cows out back. Yesterday I brought a feed buggy in. Yeah, I did. I brought a feed buggy in for the bulls up front. So I know they're good with food. I will check on their water. Hold on a minute. Let me just do this one over here right quick. Let me just drop off and fill these up real fast while I'm here. What I'm going to do is put this, I'm going to lock that on and just put that into there, let it just fill up, and then I'll move it over to that water trough when it's done. I'll go ahead and pull out of here though, get the gates closed. Don't worry, I'm not going to forget. All right, let's go ahead and go get some bird feed. Get the bird seed put out. I don't always feed them till the afternoon, but if I've been running on different schedules, I don't want to end up accidentally not being here on time and they be hungry. Oh. Some of you guys won't know much about what I'm about to show you, and others will know exactly what I'm doing. Anybody think they might know what's going on over here? Anybody think they might know what's going on over here? I talked about a little bit last night. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, I will not actually play this until next week, and I have to get it approved by the company. But guys, look, that right there, let me just show you something. Look at that. Can y'all believe that? It's charging. Everything's charging. Turn that off. Turn that off. Pop that up. Uh-oh. Pop that up. I'll eat that. That's good. I have not had any breakfast today. That's really good. Oh, here's my letter to Leffer Morrow. To Leffer. Y'all want to see what this lady says? To Leffer? Leffer Morrow. Let's see what this sweet lady says. To Leffer. Leffer Morrow. Okay. To Leffer Morrow. I've not had any breakfast yet. I hope the cats didn't lick on that bread. I hope the cats did not lick on that bread while I was gone. Yeah, I'm without a cap. I was sweating and all I had was my good hat. Hi to hello, Leffer. Look guys, look at the top. Sweet Leffer. Sweet Leffer. Y'all do see that, right? Sweet Leffer. I love you like family. This is the third letter I've written. I just can't seem to get it right. I hope you can read this. I just want to introduce myself because I never get noticed in the chat. Aw. My name is Miss Lynn. M.S. Miss Lynn. L-Y-N-N. My real name is Linda Bright. She goes on to talk about her family, about her current situation, about her son. She says she's very quiet. She's the kind of girl who likes to sit in the corner and just watch on the side. She's a survivor, and she goes on to tell me about different things that she's survived and overcome, including rape, abuse, watching her brother drown, and her being blamed for it. Wow. She just wants to let everybody know how much she appreciates the videos. She watches a lot of things on repeat. Her husband is a veteran, can't get any help. They're trying to fix up their house. But as she says, she did not write these things to burden me with her problems. She just wrote to tell me what a special place the channel has become to her. And in a way, it's her own escape. Then the last page says, she's sorry if the letter is all over the place. She's been awake for over 24 hours. And then she just reminds people to be happy for what you got, because she goes, just like her and her family, everything was lost in the blink of an eye. And then she just says, stay blessed. So I don't think that I should share the name. I think I already did. Darn it, I think I already did. That's why it's sometimes hard to read letters. But Miss Lynn, if you guys see Miss Lynn, just give her a smile, one of them virtual hugs. Say a prayer for her if you're the praying type, because the things that she shared here in her letter would make you think that she's just in a rock bottom. But she's from Virginia. From Virginia. I believe it says Catlet, Virginia. Cat, C-A-T-L-E-T-T. Anyone else in Virginia may recognize that town. But that's cute. Okay. Let's go give them birds some food, shall we? I'm going to fill up this little bucket here, because I can do that with one hand, I do believe, and still carry you in the lid on when I come back. Yeah, you feel horrible reading things like that. You just feel bad for people. Everybody's, goes through ups and downs, and sometimes you get to a spot where you just don't know what to do next, You get to a spot where you just don't know what to do next. You just don't know. And then sometimes doors open. I think that we've all been in places like that before. And if you've never been in a bad spot, guys. Don't pass judgment on people who are, because I promise you, at some point in life, you're going to find yourself dealing with your own woes and trials and tribulations. You will. It's going to happen to every one of you. And so you'll hope that whenever those days do happen to you, you'll have somebody on your side to say, to console you, to talk with you, to pray for you, to talk about you, and to talk with you especially. Yeah, little Chris was here. Little Chris was here. So, well, hey guys, I want to thank you for watching our little live video. I'm going to go turn this water off into the horse pasture. And I got quite a few things done over here. There'll be a few more things I'm going to work on. I'm going to continue working on that sponsorship. That thing's not due until next week, but I am not one to procrastinate. Guys, I cannot put things off, because you never know if you end up having an issue and you got to send it back to get a replacement. Those things take time, and I don't want to miss my deadline. So I really do. Listen to me. I think you guys are going to really love that video, because do y'all remember Sham Wow? Who can remember Sham Wow? Sham Wow commercials. Sham Wow. Remember how that guy was all jacked up and hype? He was like all super hyped. I promise you, when I made that little video right there this morning, I felt just like Sham Wow. I did. I felt like I was like jacked up and hyped and like just high on life. Now, the thing is, I may end up submitting that for approval, and they may come right back and say, hey, could you tone this down a bit, bud? Could you tone this down? Take it down a few notches. And I may have to. I may have to tone it down a little bit, guys. And if I have to, I will. But well, hello there, girls. How are y'all enjoying my chair? You've already destroyed your chair, and now you're over on my chairs. Now, where am I supposed to sit? Where does Dad sit around here? Nah. Well, they're not moving. They are not moving. So my tripod is outside where I left it, where I was videoing. So you know what I'll do? I'll just plop you guys down right here. Right there. And no, I'm not going to wash my hands. I'm not going to wash them. I don't care. I'm fine. I'm not washing my hands. I don't care. My hands are fine. I'm eating this with cinnamon sugar. All right, glasses. What have you guys got going on today? Okay. Hold on. This is funny. It is cinnamon butter. Go sit on the floor, Leffer. Extra immune builders. I'm building up my immunity. Katrina says, Lester, that was the good tripod. It's not supposed to go outside of the RV. I know, and there it says on the ground right there where I've been using it for my video this morning. Extra penicillin. it is better with a little bit of cinnamon butter. But I'm saying yay. I swear, my mama always told us never say to swear to God. Never swear to God. So instead, she created another way for us to say the same thing by saying a Bible word. Yea. You know, yea, though I walk through the valley, yea, whatever. So we say yea. This toast was toasted in that toaster oven hooked up to that generator that was only charged from those solar panels. I love cinnamon butter. Hey, Jeff. Janelle's coming to Texas next week. Janelle, what part of Texas? Janelle, what part of Texas are you coming to? Yeah, I think that we just froze. Let me turn off my ringer. So Dallas is about 3 hours north of here, sweet Janelle. Janelle, y'all want to take a 3-hour road trip down south? We're only an hour north of Houston and 3 hours south of Dallas. Okay. Well, I turned it around so you would not have to see me eat. There was someone who says it's gross watching someone eat. I know I'm not the most cordial of eaters, but it's all gone now. Well, hey, Robert. Well, listen, friends, I really will let you guys go. I'm going to continue on my day. We still have Jamie in our thoughts and in our prayers, along with she and Kendra and Xander. And I promise you, Jamie will be the first one to jump on and let you guys know as soon as she can, okay? And then for the lady who says, who could be that sensitive? Guys, you have no idea. It's the craziest thing. And I would say lately, but I don't think it's just lately. I think that meanness comes in waves. Anger and mean things comes in waves. And it's been that way from the beginning, I do believe. I do think it's been that way from the beginning. There's been moments where there's gone months with just kindness and love and people showering each other with blessings and just goodness. And then you go through times where it's like the entire world is mad at each other and you can't do anything right. But, you know, you kind of have to learn just to deal with it. Some days are harder than others. And I'm not good at always hiding my emotions and my feelings and my frustrations when it comes to the internet. But I am super blessed that we have moderators who remove most things before you ever get a chance to see them. So there is a bit of a delay. If you haven't noticed that, there's always a little bit of a delay, and that gives the moderators time to remove all that nonsense before you guys see it. And we're so very blessed for that. So things do go in cycles. All right, well, listen, we love you guys. Blessed to have you. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next video. I just can't say for sure when it's going to be, okay? I'm sorry. I just can't say for sure when it's going to be, when I'll have time to sit down and put some stuff together. But thank y'all for walking around and doing these chores with me today. See, Miss Billy just grabbed somebody. Let me show y'all something. Something that you all never saw. Billy, hope you don't mind if I do this. Miss Billy just snatched up somebody. So I'm not going to even have to go there. Miss Billy, I would have done it. But see, it shows me who Miss Billy and Miss Molly grab and get out of here. So if you ever wonder why you don't see mean comments, because Miss Billy and Miss Molly are on it, boy. They are on it. Miss Keisha, when she's able to work, Miss Keisha has a full-time job. So does Miss Vanessa. So they're not able to work as much as Miss Billy and Miss Molly do. But Molly and Billy are on it, y'all. They are on it. They try to keep you from seeing all that mess. That's what I say. Let's just not give people the time of day. If they come here looking to be mean, looking to talk mess, we'll just remove it. We just remove it. And then we keep you guys from having to see it and think about it and let it get into your head, you know? So, all right, well, we love you so much. Thank y'all for watching, and I promise you, we'll catch you guys on a little bit later video, okay? All right, chef kisses, friends. Mwah. Bye, guys.